Hey everybody, welcome to the Valleycast. What you might have noticed in this episode, as well as many others, is that we haven't been opening it with any music. And
that's what people are noticing.
The only reason is because our Reddit has become filled to the brim with things that are not music. So,
our subreddit,
yeah, that's true.
Our subreddit is alive with people that are so weirdly in line with my sense of humor that I'm creeped out.
Are you a big Reddit person?
I enjoy Reddit. I don't Reddit myself. I don't make posts or comment ever.
But you like looking at it?
I look at it every day.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Do you not?
No, I'm all about Reddit. I didn't. You seem like somebody who would be about Reddit.
Yeah.
First topic out of the gate, guys. Okay, so I don't think we're all. You're not a huge Redditor,
Wait.
but you will Reddit.
We have an announcement to make.
Okay, we're gonna get back to this Reddit topic after Elliot does the things that we should be doing.
Guys!
That was too loud. We're going on tour. Yeah, I feel like I'm peaking.
You're a little hot. I'm gonna turn you down a little bit.
We're going on tour. We are taking a week in January of 2020 to travel around the country, and I'm bonkers excited.
Elliot is being a little hyperbolic with his statement. We're not going around the country. We're going about like halfway over and then back.
But here's the thing. First of all, we're going to be a little annoying about promoting it. It's going to be all the ticket links are going to be in the description of the videos because the goal is we have offers to do stuff on the East Coast, but we don't want to put ourselves in a bad position, so we're doing a little early leg to see how it goes.
It's insane.
And we're starting on January 18th at San Francisco Sketchfest. We're doing a sketch
with Chris and Paul.
Show with the Chris and Paul show, who are heroes of ours.
Yep.
I'm going to be there. Joe Beretta's going to be there. Steve Zaragoza, as well as Kevin, who's going to be tagging along and having a lot of fun. And we got to book plane tickets and all that.
The act that Kevin has planned.
It's incredible.
It's like 7 different types of entertainment rolled into one.
Yeah, and
it's
all
amazing.
Shakespeare, which I think is great. We're doing San Francisco starting on January 18th. From there, we are going to Denver, and then Salt Lake City, and then Spokane, and Tacoma.
Spokane. You just made so many people angry.
Really? Well,
yeah,
that's
so
why
many.
you tour, is so people can go,
you didn't say my city right.
Yeah, it's going to be very fun.
Salt
Come
Lake
hang out.
City.
We're going to be doing stand-up sketches, Q&As, meets, greets, happy times. Come let us meet you and talk to you, because I think if there's one thing we've learned, it's that people like when we talk to them.
I'm a little upset. You're not talking about how insane it is. This isn't like
no one cares about that. It'll be very stressful.
No, they do. And I'm not even saying it's stressful, but I think it's fun and impressive. This isn't like this weekend, then the next weekend, then the next weekend. This is Sketchfest in San Francisco, get on a plane, go to Denver, perform the next night, go to Salt Lake, perform the next night, go to Spokane, in
Spokane, is that how you say it?
Spokane, yep, and not Gonzaga.
Did you drop this
I didn't do
whole
nothing.
6-pack of beer?
No, man.
You're
You're shaky. You're a shaky dude.
I'm shaky, yeah. I was really nervous about the tour
You're a
announcement.
shaky dude. And then we're going to Tacoma. Like, it's perform, get on a plane, perform, get on a plane. And I've never done anything like that. And it's going to be very, very interesting.
It's going to be incredibly interesting.
During winter, by the way.
Half road
During
trip.
winter.
Yes.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
These clubs are hopefully, and all of y'all are hopefully ready for maybe some, hopefully not rescheduling if Mother Nature gets in the way.
Oh, if Mother Nature. Well,
Yep.
we'll worry about that later, but we're going to have
It's going to be exhilarating. It's going to be very fun.
I think it's going to be a nice test to see how we're doing, and also just be like, it's kind of in line with what the content is currently, which is just sort of insane.
Yeah.
Very insane stuff, as Ryan and I were talking about earlier. There's a little bit of the shift in content is becoming more absurd, and I like that a lot. So I can only hope that translates to the live shows. Kevin, how are you doing? Kevin Plachy, everybody.
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Wow.
Let's
Late
get back
introduction.
to Reddit. Yeah. Yes. Second most important announcement is that Kevin is here.
Yeah, that's right.
This is your second or third podcast?
Third podcast.
Hell yeah. Bam. Wow. We did it. Exclusive shit here, everybody.
How are you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing all right. You know what happened today? I woke up very, very tired. Like, very tired, one of those days.
The bad tired?
Like that, I don't want to get out of bed tired, but I got to get out of bed.
And that lasted, and then I was like, so I'm going to do a cold brew at Starbucks. So I got a cold brew at Starbucks.
So you can be tired and angry and nervous.
Did you get
now it's...
Did you get that pumpkin cold brew?
No, just
Okay.
regular,
Just
normal
regular
cold
cold
brew.
brew? All right.
And it spiked up my body
Excuse me.
in adrenaline, but my brain is still completely
Yep.
dead. So now, like, it's just a very weird feeling to have
Yeah,
that.
that's
so
not
that's
good.
what I'm feeling.
It feels like that's. I know exactly what you're talking about, and it feels like you're existing 2 feet outside of your body.
Yeah.
Like your body has this
Mhm.
feeling. I thought I turned it off. I'm sorry, I did not.
My fingers are excited, but my brain is
yeah.
tired.
I feel it a lot in my chest. My
Real-
chest is excited.
Is it the heartbeat?
I bet if I felt my heartbeat, it wouldn't be fast. Yeah, it's not. But it
you.
feels like it is.
That's good. That's good. I'm sorry. Because the reason, though, that sometimes you wake up tired is not really, you're not waking up out of sadness. You wake up out of
Fatigue,
drive,
yes.
but literal clinical fatigue.
Yeah, it's health stuff, man.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You
Thank
can
you
choose
for
whether
joining
or
us
not
here
you
on
want
the
to get into that. I'm like, should we elaborate?
Well, that's why I
I
before
mean,
I was like,
I just, yeah.
I don't want
have-
you to elaborate, but at the same time, I don't want to.
I just don't know if it's
keep pressing.
boring to people. I just have, I mean, like all my thyroid and cortisol levels are all messed up. If people know what those are, because like my pituitary gland doesn't work right, and so then I'll have days where I just wake up completely just.
What does the pituitary
Exhausted.
gland do?
It actually does so damn
It does a
much.
ton.
It does
It, like,
too much.
regulates
It's
your-
got too cute of a freaking name for what it does.
It does.
Pituitary.
Pituitary.
My little pituitary gland.
But like it controls your testosterone, your cortisol, all your thyroid levels. So like
Yeah.
if it doesn't work, then none of those are gonna work right.
And your thyroid, and I know this because of what my wife is going through. She had a thyroidectomy recently, but I know exactly what you're talking about because once all that stuff is out of whack, especially the thyroid,
Yeah.
it's like I'm going to sleep for 3 months,
yeah.
and you can't. But you'll be up because that's how we all work. You can't sleep for 3 months. At some point, you're up, and it's just.
But
I'm
then you're
up,
just so
but I'm
tired because you
tired.
can't do anything.
Yep.
So then it turns into mental crap of like depression stuff and everything. Yeah, it's a big cycle.
And you hold it. You don't hold it in. You're a very open person, but you also don't lead with it. You don't walk. You don't.
I don't, because if I start wallowing in it or thinking about it too much, then it just kind of demotivates me completely.
Yeah.
You know what
So
else is that and this is me with my own personal stuff, and again, the journey I've had with my wife is you also don't want to be defined by it.
Yeah.
Especially how young you are, it's you're at the age where even tired, you have probably more energy than me.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I know I can tell.
And you
yeah.
got that drive and that young man drive where you're taking life by the balls, as they say. And it's like you don't want to be known as the tired guy or the sick guy, and it's like you want to be known by your work, which I think you are, by the way. What you
thank
do is like it's visionary.
But we're gonna change your
it's
brand
a lot,
right now.
and we're gonna kill that right now.
We're gonna totally make you
Right
define.
now.
You've had enough. You've had enough time.
I mean, you guys.
I'm
yeah.
sick of you riding on your talent.
It's time to ride on your sickness.
Sickness.
I don't like being defined by the things you can't control.
But yeah, you're riding the nightmare. Not to speak for you, that we've just talked about it a lot.
Yeah,
that
we
is- That is, it's there's nothing that's more frustrating than not getting answers
Yes.
on a medical level.
Which you know
And-
about, Joe.
Yeah, which I've been swimming in, but then going to these doctors and institutions and hospitals, and you're getting it younger than when I got it and my family got it, is that you realize they're not superheroes.
Yeah,
they
big
are. They're kind of guess and check. They're guess and check
It's
humans
crazy
that
how
have a
many
lot of
times-
education, and they're just they're using you as just like a dartboard.
But they even admit to it themselves. At least
Some
my
of them
doctors
do.
do. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just like, I'm just gonna guess we're gonna go with this because I don't really know what to do. And
It's
it's
a flip
like,
of the coin.
What? You don't know what to do? So
Is there and I don't know if you know the answer to this, but is there like an end game involved in this? Is there like because they know so little, they're just like,
the end game is like, well, let's just hope it starts working again.
wow.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
Yahtzee. I'm telling you, every time
Well-
you go to the friggin' doctor, it's like
But I
shake the
mean-
cup, and then
Yeah.
hopefully you get Yahtzee or a full house, and sometimes you
And
gotta
it's-
just keep
it's-
rolling.
Management too. It's
Mm-hmm.
like almost just let's put a bunch of band-aids on.
Treading water kind of deal.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What the main type
Was
of
it
thing is.
was it you said work again? Did it work before and all of a sudden
Well, because it goes, because it's trying to control, like I'm on medication for like testosterone for thyroid and
That's why you're so buff.
yeah, cortisol and stuff. So it's like we have to. You know what else I'm on, which is gonna blow your mind a little bit. I'm on a woman's fertility medicine.
Yeah.
Because for some reason the testosterone gel went spiked my testosterone up insanely. So they're like, let's just try this, and it's like, okay, now it's at a normal level just using this. So I'm on that.
When did the testosterone spike you up?
Probably like 2 years ago.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah, and that
were you just raging out?
Well, I noticed it made
when
me
Ariana Grande changed her brand and became more about.
She went full ponytail.
Yeah.
when my testosterone.
Yeah, I get it.
You made her change.
We
her
were
brand
all there,
because
Kevin. Stop making this about you.
You've reverberated throughout the existence.
No, but I remember feeling super stressed. It wasn't a good feeling. It was like a constantly I don't know, on edge.
You were like broing out.
Yeah, I mean, not
Just define what it is to be a dude. I don't know, just stressed out all the time and felt angry about things I couldn't control. It was crazy.
I don't know who you are, but you're all part of Kappa Kappa Plachy.
yeah.
Is Kappa girl or boy? What is that? Greek system.
No one knows.
All right.
So today you're just in the tired zone?
Yep, but this isn't quite as bad as a day. I would have told. I mean, I tell you guys, when it's like, this is I can't do anything.
We
today.
shut you down swiftly.
Yeah. You said, don't want to hear it, Kevin.
Enough of that.
Yeah, I do Reddit.
Okay. I was hoping we'd get back to it.
I do like it. Well,
we can cut that whole conversation out.
No, I don't have a problem.
Reddit. So I was going to ask you guys, so I have friends that are the Reddit friends, and they've been living and I think Steve is kind of like this a little bit, but they kind of swear by it. It's their news. It's their gateway to the internet. It's an opinion releaser, but also I think a generator a little bit as well.
Yeah.
I am a frequenter that does it casually.
Lurker.
I'm a lurker.
Me too.
Lurker.
Yeah.
Never really posted outside of subreddits that I've been directly involved with, and that's even rare. And so I want to ask you guys, what do you frequent when you go to Reddit? Because there are some places that I'm like, this makes me happy, and that I've subscribed to, and it populates my popular page or my front page or whatever. What do you guys Reddit?
I mean, the biggest ones for me are the Ask Reddits and the Ask
They're so
Men, Ask
fun.
Women. All those are great. I just found No Stupid Questions, which is really funny. And then I don't know. I just look at the basic ones too, just vids, funny stuff like that, just for a random meme or anything like that.
I Explain It Like I'm 5.
I love that
that's
one.
A good
It's
one.
so good.
It's really fun. I don't subscribe to any subreddits, so I don't get any kind of curate. I think I just go to the regular homepage, but I don't know. Maybe it's tracking does it track?
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, those are kind of the main, and then you can make an account and then subscribe to certain
Oh, really?
ones.
When you go to it, there's it's either popular or hot or something. It's a curated thing, and then there's another, but it's not the popular. So there's the super front page, but then there's a front page that's curated for you.
Okay.
And then, but if you can click a button, it'll be this is what's actually rising and what's hot right now.
There's some really niche ones though. That have you seen that? Have you heard of the one where it's completely run by bots?
No.
Yeah, it's the whole thing is an algorithm to where only bots post, and they use a bunch of the algorithm uses other Reddit posts.
Just
so
kill humans, kill humans, kill humans, kill humans.
That's what you might. Yeah,
one of those was me.
Because then you'll look at a post.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bots.
I made it in.
And then just Elliot Morgan.
Kill humans. When you write bot.
But yeah, the questions are they look like normal questions. They look like my husband did this and blah blah blah. And then you look at the
It's
comments
all
and
bot.
it's all people responding.
Creepy.
It's really creepy.
Is it real people responding to the bots, being this is what you need to do?
No, it's bots responding to bots.
It's all bots.
Yes.
That's bots.
Is that the singularity? That's the singularity, right? We're there. I do. I like to explain it like I'm 5. I go to r/sports, which is great because it's got amazing highlights without having to be a super fan of anything and everything, but also interesting stories, a lot of uplifting stuff. And again, just like every other part of Reddit, there's just very eloquent and very funny responses.
Oh,
even
clever people.
to things that may not be indicative of what you think Reddit would be. It's like not many people are going to Reddit for sports, but you might go there and be like, oh, this is just as funny and enlightening as any other subreddit.
Yep,
that's on there.
Yeah, I treat it also a little bit like I treat TV, where it's like I'll go to the different channels, and one of them that I will go to a fair amount is, I think it's called Ask the Donald now.
What is that?
It's Donald. It's MAGA supporters, MAGA people.
Bet you learn a lot.
That
actually.
are like, we'll answer the questions that you have, and I'm like, I got so many.
I've been there. Yeah,
it's
and
interesting.
It's actually, there's a lot of really good discourse going on there, where people are taking a step back and actually taking a chance to hear what people are saying.
It's nice.
Like, understand what the other side might be feeling.
Have you heard of r/Photoshop battles?
Yes.
That's great too.
I
feel
that
like
one a lot.
Joe would like that a ton.
Joe did that before I knew it was a thing on subreddit, where he'd be like, Photoshop this, and then it's just him jumping real high, and then it'd be
I'd throw it out there. I will admit right now that I've never quite understood that subreddit, because I've always felt like maybe the Photoshop battles were so good that I didn't understand what they were doing. But is it just put a picture out there and then people go and
they just, if you look in the comments,
maybe that's what I'm
top
not doing.
Comments,
I'm not commenting. I'm not
you got to look at the comments.
Yeah, I haven't done any big dives into it, but
hold up, I want to bring up my narwhal and see what I'm subscribed to, because sometimes I forget.
What's your narwhal? Yeah, I don't know.
It's a Reddit app. What are your Reddit apps?
It's just a
Reddit app.
I heard it wasn't good, so I didn't use it.
It's better now. I think they changed it.
Yeah, that's all I've ever used.
Yeah, I think they acquired a different app at some point and rebranded that one as their own.
I'm subscribed to
r/.
What's gonna be so much basic shit? r/movies. I'm subscribed to that.
r/unexpected is hilarious.
That one scares me though, because I don't know what's gonna happen.
But it's almost always a funny
it's unexpected.
one.
I saw one this morning that was unexpected. That was a chicken, like, and
it's the cat.
It's the little kittens. Yeah, it was real cute.
Did you ever 50-50?
Nope.
No, I don't play that game.
Some of the worst things that I have ever seen in my life were when we did that stupid show on SourceFed.
Why are we getting two horrible dicks? That's all. Yeah, that's where I get the dark stuff. I try to steer clear of.
Yeah, when I was younger, I would look at those, and then I looked at enough to where I was like, this isn't worth the horrible imagery that I'm gonna keep from. Yeah,
exactly. It's not. Yeah, you can't. Eye bleach is a good one though. Have you been to eye bleach?
Yeah,
it's like the opposite, where it's just like cute pictures.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So it's good stuff. It's actually not what you would expect from that title.
Yep. Yeah, it sounds violent, but yeah, no, it's real good.
Looking at my app, I just realized that my Reddit experience is 100% curated for my friends that Reddit more. Like my friend John Payne just like sends me stuff all the time. Steve, hey, check this out. Mm-hmm. I've got my stuff, but it's from everybody else for sure.
It's what's led me into my current, which we were talking about earlier. I'm feeling myself get more sucked into the political world right now, and I feel like I've taken a nice solid years off, and now I feel myself getting sucked back in, and it's kind of exciting because
I mean, this is the time.
Yeah, and I'm like,
election, impeachment, Democratic debates.
Yeah, like lots going on.
There's a whole
I'm
crap
like,
ton.
okay, here we go. And there's a little bit of a fun part to that, which is really nice. But I don't know if you saw this. We watched independently. We talked about the Sacha Baron Cohen speech.
I wanted to watch it, but I saw all the headlines about it. Yeah,
it's such, even regardless of whatever political opinions, it's just in terms of speech writing, it's so good. Like he's so articulate in it, and he puts a little bit of humor, but also is just like, yeah, we're screwed if we don't do something about the social media giants that are out there. And I liked it a lot. And I sent it to my mom. That's how much I liked it.
And it's interesting because he's certainly coming from a point of view of somebody that wants that 100%, because of what he does, supports free speech.
Yeah.
Like that's the conundrum that everybody's in right now with the catch 2020 with social media. If you're trying to like think 3 steps forward, right?
Yeah. Don't limit people's.
I don't want to limit people, but at the same time, the best line that I heard so far was free speech is not the same as free like distribution or something like that. Free
speech is different than free reach.
Free reach, exactly.
It
is, and then he said something along the lines of, which I do think, of course, it's not black and white, but he talked about if you went into a restaurant and started screaming super racist Nazi propaganda, the restaurant can go, "Yo, dude, stop," and push you out. And so could these online social media networks if they wanted to, but they're going with the, and I don't know, I'm not saying what my opinion is on all this, so
way to protect yourself.
Yeah, it's all about me.
You're safeguarded now, Joe.
But he was saying like these are businesses. Facebook is a business. They're not just a social media company. Like they can make the rules. But then he goes a step further, and this is what I really don't know about yet.
Yeah, I know,
and he says you're elected. We should be letting our elected representatives police this. And a lot of people would be like, whoa, that's too far. And I don't know where I think, because this is a different, but this is also a different thing.
Public, yeah. It's the other argument, which I know very little about this. I'm in the exact same boat because I don't know what the opinion is. I do think we're headed toward a very bad situation if things continue as they are, because the size of the platforms are so huge that it's like to chalk them up to just being a company doesn't really work. But at the same time, there's all these other people going, these are kind of public utilities. Like they're so widespread, they're so ubiquitous that they must be treated like something that you control and regulate.
Because he talked about the 6 people that are the heads of all of them, Zuckerberg, Susan from YouTube, all these people, Twitter, Jack Dorsey, all these. They are kind of these now like gatekeepers without rules or regulations, and they are the ones that are curating and shaping the rules in the public landscape. But
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, way to protect yourself.
My favorite. I've protected myself with my own ignorance for quite a while. My favorite part of what he talked about was when he said, not. I think it was in the speech. It's not every issue has an equal valid other side. Like not every, which is like my dad is a Trump person, and I love him very much.
Trump.
Trump, yes, thank you, Joe. Thank you, and that's Joe protecting me.
I don't want anybody to think otherwise.
Yeah, whatever. I'll be sad when it goes. It's hilarious. We've had a funny time. But he often has sort of like that idea of like false equivalence of like, well, you think that, but other people think this, and it's like you have that opinion, and that someone else has a different opinion, and both are valid, and it's like that's not true, because if you thought like that, we wouldn't be able to make anything as a society. So.
Right.
Yeah. But you also, Kevin, where are you at with all the?
Why did you vote for Trump?
I don't want to make it a political. I just happen to personally be interested. So this is. Yeah. If you want to segue back into your personal health stuff, we can do that instead. But hey, everybody, and welcome to Ad Reads. My name is Elliot Morgan. Listen, I have a question for you. How many of your search engine inquiries does the government have a right to know about? Well, not many, I tell you. In fact, I don't really want the government to know if I'm Googling whether a hyena is a cat or a dog, and I don't really want the government to know if I'm Googling how clams make love. That's my hobby, not theirs. And with ExpressVPN, guess what? The government doesn't get access to any of that. Without ExpressVPN's protection, though, hackers, governments, ad companies, and ISPs all have full access to your data. That's disgusting. I don't want them using my web history or my video searches against me or even for me. Yeah, I said it. That's why I use ExpressVPN every time I go online. Come on, Kevin, you got to keep up. And don't worry, if the wire from the mic goes in front of the camera, that's even better. ExpressVPN encrypts and reroutes your web traffic to any number of countries, keeping you safer and more secure. Simply download the ExpressVPN app, click to connect, and boom, guess what? You're protected. Doesn't that feel good? It's like wearing a seatbelt, except digitally. With ExpressVPN, you can make it seem like you're browsing from a different country. Ooh, you dirty little skank. So you can watch any Netflix library in the world that you want. How cool is that? I know when it comes to my Netflix, I've watched everything on there, and so it's about time to see what Spain has to offer. ExpressVPN is the fastest VPN that we've actually ever seen. It costs less than $7 per month, and it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee in case you don't feel quite protected enough, but I bet you will. It's time to stop governments and internet companies from keeping tabs on your data. It's time to take back your online privacy like I did with ExpressVPN, and like we do here at the Valleyfolk. It's actually really cool. Protect your online activity today and find out how you can get 3 months free at expressvpn.com/Valleycast. That's expressvpn.com/Valleycast for 3 months free with a 1-year package. Visit expressvpn.com/Valleycast to learn more. That's expressvpn.com/Valleycast. Let's keep going. Oh, one thing I wish I was better at was walking backwards and still looking directly at the camera. Fortunately, there's all sorts of skills that I want to learn, and now with Skillshare, I can. This episode of the Valleycast is brought to you not only by the nearby airport, but also by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of amazing classes covering dozens of creative and entrepreneurial skills. You can take classes in everything from photography and creative writing to design, productivity, and more. So, whether you're returning to a long-time passion project that you've been meaning to get back to, maybe you're just challenging yourself to get outside of your comfort zone, or simply exploring something new, like walking outside and getting a breath of fresh air rather than talking with Kevin and Joe on the podcast that you're currently listening to. The current classes that I'm most excited about are that I'm actually going to dive into are this is embarrassing. It's not embarrassing. I'm doing the Instagram-worthy photography, shoot, edit, and share. It's by Brandon Bullful. Whatever. My Instagram sucks, and I don't understand how people do good jobs at it. And I see the ads pop up in my feed to make it look cool, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to download a different app to do this on another app. I'm going to learn a skill, and I don't understand how design works. And then also styling your space, bringing creativity to interior design, which is taught by Emily Henderson, because we're redecorating the office here and there, and Joe's putting shelves everywhere. If you've been keeping up to date on the Patreon, State of the Valleys, and I want to make sure that we're making it look cool and creative and nice and clean. And so Skillshare is going to help with all of those things. Join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer just for the Valleycast listeners. Get 2 free months. You know what you can learn in 2 months? So many things. That's right. Skillshare is offering Valleycast listeners 2 months of unlimited access to thousands of classes for free. To sign up, go to Skillshare.com/Valleycast. Again, go to Skillshare.com/Valleycast to start your 2 free months now. That's Skillshare.com/Valleycast. You won't regret it. There's so many options. I'm Elliot Morgan, and this has been 2 ad reads. Let's get back to the podcast, and I'll see you soon for even more of them. I would like to know about your political leanings, because you live in Los Angeles. I know you're not like a diehard one way or the other kind of person. I think one of the first conversations we had at Steve's birthday party years ago at the karaoke place was...
You know who that wasn't with me. That was with my friend that I was with. Yeah, who she's super into
that
politics and stuff.
Yeah. And she
leans much more towards Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not, the thing, I was talking to Joe about this too. I'm just now, it's funny that you say you're getting more into it now, because this has been, ever since Trump was elected, I've now actually had an interest in politics, to where before it tuned it all out.
Yeah.
Which it's still even hard for me to kind of have a feeling about all of it. I just don't think about politics that much for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in your wheelhouse yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that it's important, but for me, my brain it wants to just tune it out. I don't want to hear anything about it.
That's not a bad thing, because if you think about it, it's yeah, I know science and math is important, but I'm not rocking around with science and math every day. You know what I mean?
I remember that bumper sticker that's if you're not mad, you're not paying attention. And I'm correct.
Yeah.
I'm not mad.
And I'm also not paying attention.
You got me.
But
fucking bumper sticker.
I would lean much more towards liberal on that whole side of, I am in Los Angeles, and that's, I don't know, that's totally that seems like the common sense to me, but it's
interesting, though, because you have the wherewithal to be common sense here is not common sense on the other side.
That's
outside of this bubble.
Yeah.
But that's debatable too. But yeah. It doesn't feel like common. It would feel like other places feel like common sense that we would be like, this is crazy.
Exactly.
There it is.
Exactly. Yes.
This will naturally lead us into something that Elliot and I were talking about earlier today, and it's we're
anti-Semitism.
Yeah. We don't know where we're at.
50-50.
Could go either way.
Yeah, that was a great part of the Sacha Baron Cohen speech.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah, anyway.
The whole thing.
Where did he give this speech? What was it on?
He got an award.
Anti-Defamation League?
Something.
That makes it sound like a super.
Okay,
Maybe
but it was a
that's-
televised event.
I got it up on my computer. Hold
Maybe
on a
not
sec.
televised, but definitely recorded properly as
Okay.
though it could be televised. But
Okay.
it was an organization that
ADL.
gave him an award.
Yeah.
And then
he
he
in
just
his
gave the
acceptance.
speech.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I was right. The Anti-Defamation
Way to go,
League.
Joe.
Bam.
Wow.
It does. It sounds like a freaking Amazon Prime TV show.
Yeah.
So we were talking about. Let me preface this with my political journey recently. I was kind of the same as you. It's always been a little bit outside of my Venn diagram of interest. In high school, it was Bush and Gore and Saturday Night Live, and the comedy brought me into the world a little bit. And then I'm in college after that, and then the Obama years, and I got very interested when the Trump election happened. At that point, for whatever reason, I became really invested. I started listening to NPR. I started studying up on candidates and everything, and the realms of government that I hadn't really been paying attention to, and I learned a lot. But then 2 years ago, combined with life stuff, with some health stuff with my wife, I realized it was all too heavy, and I had to start worrying about myself a little bit because I was getting very depressed. So worrying about politics every single day, because it affected me a lot, I had to push to the side, and I have for a while. And I've it's only been in the last 6 months that I've been jumping back into it. I will never say that I'm operating very far outside of ignorance, and I'm always learning and trying to listen as much as I can in regards to all of this.
Spoken like a wise person.
Why? Yeah, to a point. But I say that because Elliot we're constantly thinking about trying to create another podcast through the Valleyfolk, and there's some entertainment ones that we've talked about. Like I want to do an 80s movie retrospective podcast, and I could do that whether or not we do the next thing I'm about to talk about. But Elliot's been talking about doing a political podcast. Nowhere, from no point of view other than we're just two people that are interested in it, that are talking about it as much as possible. I think Elliott's a very capable person to do this, and we could be very eloquent about it. But I hesitate because I'm interested, but I'm the dumb, and I never like trying to speak from a point of ignorance, but I also don't want to speak from a false point of intelligence either. And
that's where we differ.
Yeah. And I could speak about what I think about things,
And I think
I fear I will not have the time to properly really be educated on the things that we'd be talking about. And then I fear, and this is, now I'm just talking about fear and being careful again in what we do, that a lot of my points would be reactionary without really giving it the time or the credence that I would like to give before I say things. And we live in a culture of aggregation, and 3 frickin' sentences that fall out of my mouth could be turned into something. Not that anybody's fucking caring what I'm saying anyways, but you know what
They care.
You know what I mean? So I'm hesitant. So I'm coming from I don't know if I should, because there's fear, and I feel like you're coming from a more courageous place because you're really wanting to go for it despite that.
Well, first of all, Joe, I would never do anything involved with the Valleyfolk that might polarize us in any way.
Thank you.
What was I going to talk about?
You liked your
just
joke.
needed to get
I
that
did
out
like my
there.
You
joke.
liked your joke
I actually
so
just saw
much.
it written on the ceiling. I was like,
Elliot liked his joke so much that he stroked.
I think here's my angle from it. Yeah, I think I orgasmed. I think the thing I go back to. Okay. This is from another podcast I was listening to by a guy named Rob Bell, who I like. He's a great guy, and he talked about how when somebody was not wanting to talk about politics, he's like, okay, well, let's talk about just personal stuff. Like, let's talk about where you're at personally, because he's like, politics are personal. And I was like, well, that's a very interesting way of looking at it, because we'd like to think that it's about the grand scheme of things, about society, it's about all these big systems. But if you reduce it to just where you are at as an individual, I think that's way more interesting for people, because what bothers me about the political stuff is I don't want to get involved in almost like an apologetics type of thing that I was involved with as a kid when I was in the more fundamentalist Christian world, where it was just like, you can say this and you can have all the facts and you can prove someone if you just have all the right things. And then what led me out of that was just more personal experiences, more connecting with other people's personal experiences. And so that's what I like about the idea of talking about politics, is not in the sense of going, we need to make sure that all of our facts are correct and all the numbers are right, because facts can be twisted and statistics can be used and blah, blah. And it also just isn't fun. Like, there's always, you give any statistic, any number, someone else has another one, and then you're just like, all right. But if you can come at it, like, I know with the political stuff, I know personally that I've shifted so far that it's like, and sometimes shift back, and I like.
Yeah, you're like a super Nazi now.
I know, yeah. And it is, hey, you know what? You wait. We're coming. But
we're going to take ourselves down, too. We're coming for everybody.
Yeah, it starts with this podcast, gentlemen.
You guys are Nazis.
Nazis. Yeah, I like being like, okay, this is whatever is happening in the country, seeing the way people shift and ebb and flow in regard to what is happening, I think is interesting. It would not be a campaigghing thing unless I got real passionate.
Or maybe
about
it could
something.
be,
but
and that's okay. That's a courage thing.
Yeah,
to a point.
I want to do something that talks to the fluidity of people's political opinions more so than where the snapshot of where they're at. But in order to do that, I have to let go of the snapshot that I'm in, which is a little bit more extreme than it.
I have thoughts about what you just said. I want to talk about, but I want to hear Kevin talk first. What are your thoughts on all that?
On all what?
Whatever
you guys starting a podcast?
No, just in
like
anything
that?
in general. The things we were just talking about.
Well, pituitary glands, whatever you want.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
I feel like, I mean, because
your glands. Shut up, Joe.
I feel like recently, because I've been even talking to my friend about this too, that it's like I start getting into it when I think of it more personally, rather than all these big ideas, big like one-sided things. Like if I start thinking, well, what are my beliefs about something very, that's changing my own life and stuff, then I get so much more interested into it.
Because you're connected to it.
Yes.
Whereas
it's, I don't know, like when I think about the Senate or like all these different names and the organization of all of that, that's where I start going like, I don't want to hear about any of this.
Yep, it
type
gets
of thing.
Yeah.
The inner workings isn't as much fun.
Because there's also just so much bullshit.
Yeah, they make the inner workings almost watchable. You don't care because it's like you said, the bureaucracy of it all and the bullshit, and we know the money that's influencing blah blah. Like it's one of those things where you watch something and you go, it's so obvious what the fuck you're doing, and it's annoying, and you're gonna keep doing it, and that makes me not want to watch it. It's like you're making it worse for everybody, and you've turned it into a show, and we know the people that are influencing you, and we know the money that's there, but it's like they're choosing, and we're choosing to act like it doesn't matter, or it's there, and we've accepted it, and that makes it harder to enjoy because it doesn't feel genuine.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. And it's also like...
It's power, it's money, it's blah, blah, blah.
We're also in the beginning, still in the beginning of like such a huge experiment in general with like having
200 years in.
Yeah. And it's like, well, now we have a person in the White House who is going around and just like testing the floorboards and everywhere and making sure that all the doors aren't going to fall. Like he's like pressing pressure into different areas. And I don't necessarily agree with the fact that he's doing it, but I think it's super interesting to have someone who is just like, let's see what this system can handle. And that part's kind of exciting.
100%
It's also terrifying.
So what you made me think of is when you said that, which again is another hard thing for me, and this has been a hard thing for me in YouTube in the last 14 years. It's been super hard for me in the last couple months, is we could make it personal. But making it personal is taking what we do another step that I've always been uncomfortable with. It's the reason I haven't been a vlogger for the last 14 years. Like there's certain limits to myself that I want to present in an entertainment landscape and platform that I've always been comfortable with. I like performing. I like making people laugh. The fourth wall has always been comfortable for me. And from SourceFed to this point, we've broken it down a little bit, but it's never been, I would contend we've given pieces of ourselves as entertainment, but I don't want to give all of me as entertainment, and I don't know if I'm prepared to give myself those more personal things and thoughts up as entertainment, and I don't know if I'm strong enough to provide that to the people, again, something that I've learned in the last 2 months, and be able to combat the reaction with an unemotional response from myself.
I don't know that I could do it.
And there's people on TV that can do that, political pundits and people like that, and they get off on it. I don't. My personal emotions and thoughts and feelings, I always skew to want to be helpful. I always skew to want to be liked, which is a downfall somewhat. And you're right. I do think a podcast like that needs to be personal, which is, again, my other fear, because if I can't be 100% genuine and personal, then what the fuck am I doing there? You know? And if I'm not saying things that are intelligent enough, what the fuck am I doing there? So then I'd have to be okay with being that person too. And I'd have to keep reminding, like, I'm not the smartest. I may not need the one to be here, and I'm going to try my best to give you all of me in this, but it'll be hard. And I don't know, does that make it better? Does that make it worse? It's like I'm the layman in the situation.
Yeah.
It would depend on the back and forth too, I think. I think if you were able to bounce off of each other to where it was a good dynamic, then that would work.
We'll work on it. My name is Elliot Morgan. You thought we were done? Well, guess what? We're not. I'm here to talk to you about Stamps.com. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you do. I just told you. It's Stamps.com. I always wonder who in the world still goes to the post office. It's like, ugh, and why? You know what I mean? Stamps.com brings the post office right to you, and what could be better than that? No need to interrupt your workday to fight traffic to get to the post office, and then you don't know what time, and it's all stressful, and then it's like, I mean, we love them, but, you know, what can you do? Especially now during the holidays when the post office is extra busy with people sending holiday cards and gifts. Ain't nobody have time for that anymore. That's why you need Stamps.com. Anything you can do at the post office, you can do at Stamps.com. Stamps.com eliminates trips to the post office and saves you money with discounts that you can't even get at the post office. It's like ordering off of the secret menu at In-N-Out. You're gonna love it. I'll take my post office animal style. You know what I mean? I didn't like me when I said that. Anyway, Stamps.com brings all the services of the U.S. Post Office Service right to your computer, whether you're a small office sending invoices or receiving them. That's kind of more our deal. An online seller shipping off products, or even a warehouse sending thousands of packages a day, Stamps.com can handle it with ease. Simply use your computer to print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere that you want to send. Once your mail is ready, just hand it to your mail carrier or drop it in a mailbox. It's that simple. You just print it. You just have it on there. You just put it in a box. There's people coming. I'm embarrassed. Let's go over here. With Stamps.com, you get 5 cents off of every first-class stamp, up to 40% off priority mail. Not to mention, it's a fraction of the cost of those expensive postage meters. Stamps.com is a no-brainer. It saves you time and it saves you money, and it's a wonderful idea. It's no wonder over 700,000 small businesses already use Stamps.com. Why are you not one? Because you're not a small business? Become one. Start acting like you are one, and then use Stamps.com, and that's the first step. And then if you use it, guess what? You're a small business, and it will make your lives better. So don't spend a minute of your holiday season at the post office this year. Not a minute. Sign up for Stamps.com instead. There's no risk. The promo code Valleycast, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. The scale is great, right? Because then you actually know. Because that's the thing, right? You never know. Anyway, just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in Valleycast. That's Stamps.com. Enter Valleycast. Never go to the post office again. Please. I don't know how to make that not sound like a command. Giving holiday gifts is great. Overspending on all of those gifts is not great. So why spend more than you have to? Finding the lowest prices is easy if you have Honey. Honey is a free browser extension. That's right, free. It takes like no time at all. It's a free browser extension that automatically automatically finds the best promo codes whenever you shop online. This means you always get the best deals without even trying on over 20,000 sites like Amazon and eBay and J.Crew and Sephora and Expedia.com and many, many more. Okay, Best Buy, anything you need for the holiday season, you can get help with it using Honey for your browser extension. Honey has saved me more money than I care to admit. And I overspend all the time. And it automatically works, and it goes through all the codes, and it's very satisfying to look at. And then when it actually does save you money, I save a lot of money when I send flowers or like gift things. I save like $20. I saved it. I'm doing a really dumb hot take soon, and I printed out this thing at FedEx, and it saved me $10 out of $40. That's a 25% savings. Are you kidding me? Anyway, yeah. So it's a good one. That's a good personal endorsement, and it's true. Honey has found its over 10 million members, over $1 billion in savings. Honey supports over 20,000 stores online. Honey has over 100,000 5-star reviews on Google Chrome Store. So if you're buying gifts this holiday season, which you should, it feels better than receiving them, then you need Honey. And if you're not, you probably know someone who. Bug in my ear. You probably know someone who is, so do them a solid and tell them about Honey, and then tell them to tell others about Honey, and we'll create a wonderful community of people who like to save money. Honey can help you make sure you're getting the best price for whatever you're buying. It's free to use and installs in just 2 clicks. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/Valleycast. That's joinhoney.com/Valleycast. Okay, it's free. It helps us. It helps you. It helps Honey. It helps keep everybody happy. Guys, thank you for joining me. My name is Elliot. This has been Ad Reads. Back to you, Walter.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, maybe we'll test it or something and see what happens. I think what you're talking about is also a result of you've been in YouTube since 1995. Yeah. And so you have also seen
some people
the rise and fall. Yeah. I mean, we are buddies with the Shay Carl and that whole tribe, and he has, I mean, on Reddit, there was a thing of like, there was a post that was, I think it was an Ask Reddit thing, and it was like, what's the trend that we've done in the past decade that you would just not have to have happen? And one of the top answers was just like all the family vloggers.
Yep.
And I'm inherently probably too open with certain things as a result of having not been open in the past. And so in my mind, but I also don't have a family, and I don't have the kid part to worry about. And then you see people like Shay, you see people in other areas where it's just like they get so much good stuff and they get so much support, but the psychological effects of what has happened is like, it's really not worth it.
I mean, he put it out there in a video recently that you sent me, because we like to check up on our boy, and it's stuff that I've been saying for years that it's the reason I never pulled the trigger. Which is, I think it's one thing to have a family. It's one thing to have a wife and kids and then coworkers and this like bubble in your life where you make decisions and you worry about the people in the Venn diagram of your life. They're going to influence those decisions, and you're going to have a certain amount of stress and worry based on the people that touch those decisions. Yeah. Right? It's like, okay, I'm going to do A or B. A is going to do this to these people.
Great way to put it. Yeah.
B is going to do this to these people. So B feels worse, but then you put 5 million people into your brain, and nobody's strong enough to not do that. They're just not. Nope. Especially when you get it like that kind of success so young. You got 5 million people in the back of your brain you're going, okay, if I do A, 5 million people are going to be real fucking pissed off. Yeah. And if you're a family vlogger or somebody that puts your whole life out there, not two people, a boyfriend and a girlfriend that put their relationship online. And they're like their brand is a YouTube couple, right?
All right. Well, if you're gonna get personal,
we don't want to be together anymore. Mm-hmm. It becomes not just about I don't want to be with her and she doesn't want to be with me.
Now you have to explain.
These 5 million other people have an influence on my decision. It's a sickness. It's a disease, and it infiltrates your mind, and it's part of going back to social media that it's the stuff that we don't realize is affecting us, and we're the first freaking wave of it. And I think we're seeing some of the repercussions of these these decisions that we've went into willy-nilly with ignorance and with exuberance, and I think there's probably more good than bad, but we're seeing some of the repercussions of it all. Again,
excuse me. Yeah, I think
and I do think it affects me too. I'm very cautious about putting, like, wanting to jump into the realm that we're talking about and put my opinions out there because they're mine, and I don't want them to be influenced by everybody
well, they're
else.
also you're a pretty smart person, so it's like,
am I strong
that.
enough to take the blowback or even the praise?
Well, that your ability to, I think, navigate it is one thing, but I do think that we are living in such tumultuous, divided times that someone like you who is intelligent and kind-hearted, that kind of voice would do more good than bad, but the negativity that would inherently come
might
is
do
its
worse
own
for me
thing.
than
Yeah,
it would
and
for
it's
the
like,
good.
do you care that much to be like, you can also, there's no shame in being like, I'm going to keep protect your good heart instead of being like, here it is, and then let the masses sort of eat away at it or assume that you're an idiot and you don't know what you're talking about, and then what are you doing, you know?
It's interesting, though, because I'm coming from a place of not even... There is zero interest. I don't see the point of sharing such personal things out to so many people.
You're talking about politically
You
or
in
personally?
general.
You haven't entertainmentized yourself
No.
like other people have. And I think that is some healthy shit, my friend.
But that comes from... No, it doesn't bring me enough good. It doesn't feel good to do. Like, it just is like, okay, why am I doing this? Why do people want to hear this about me, type of thing. And that's just interesting.
It's like filleting yourself. It's like you're just opening up, you're like cutting yourself open. You're like, here's everything.
But
and then
I
you're
get
like, well,
it.
I'm not getting anything out of it.
I get, because I like to consume it. There's people that I like.
you sick fuck.
Yeah. That's what, so I don't
so
think
do
it's
we.
I don't think it's a necessarily all around bad thing, but I never have felt that feeling of like, I want to do this, but I'm too afraid of what people will be thinking. That type of,
Because I feel like you putting yourself out there is you putting your art out there and your work, and that's how that's how you've learned to express yourself.
And you also put yourself out there in the wake of everything that happened, and also saw in just that short amount of time the amount of shit you get. So,
but again, even with that, it was like I was able to just tune that out quick.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that just comes from not focusing all my life about that type of stuff.
Well, and you're being true and honest, and there's not a lot. There's the Mike Falzone adage of, if you're honest, you always have a leg to stand on, I think, is like when you just lead with that, then you're like, all right, like that makes it a lot easier, rather than try to appease everybody.
Yep.
Another thing, and I might have talked about this on the podcast or some other times before.
Just look at us with this heavy conversation. We're doing this little adult.
It's interesting. Ryan, is this interesting? Ryan says it's interesting. Counts. We got one.
That's all we need.
So we talked about how like there's the negative effect of it all, right? But I think there's also a positive effect that can be just as negative, and it's the reason I haven't. My daughter's 12, and for the last 2 years, she's been asking to start a YouTube channel, and she's been asking to do various things, and I don't want to stifle her creativity.
It's also kind of cute.
Sometimes vlogging she wants to do. She wanted to do a spy channel, like a bunch of stuff that I thought was really cute, and I always responded with, "You can make the videos, but I'm not going to make them public."
Yeah.
And then she would go, "Well, then I don't want to do it." And I go, "Well, then I think you're doing it for the wrong reasons." And then she wouldn't do it because I think I want to protect her from the negativity 100%, right? Like I don't want her to get, she's too young to be getting, and she saw a lot of that negativity in the last 2 months of what we were going through, and her looking at some of my stuff, which I had to stop her from doing. And it's like her brain's too young. Her emotions are too young. She's still developing.
It's pretty young.
You could be 18 and you're too young for it. But so there's the negative side. It's like, God forbid you put something out there and you get torn apart or you become a meme, and then you got to deal with that for the rest of your fucking life. Is it worse that if she blows up? Gosh, she blew up and now she's 12 years old and she has 2 million followers and she's getting praise all the time for everything she does. Yes, the success is nice, and yes, I'd like to think that I'm strong enough of a father and a person to Sherpa her through that and give her perspective.
Sherpa?
Sherpa.
Sherpa
her through that. Sherpa her through that. Sherpa her. But I don't know if I am, and there's so much on the plate. So what I'm saying is there is something that, yes, it could be 100% positive and rosy and blah, but there's also something that is just as detrimental, could be, when you have 2 million people telling you you're perfect, and every decision and everything you say is great until it isn't. And when you're that young, I don't think it's what you need.
You I think know you're the dad, so that's your.
I also don't want her to be bigger than me. I'll crush her.
Oh, absolutely, and I will too, and I'll make sure people unsubscribe.
Thank you.
But you have the right and it's your job to be like, that's your guidance or whatever. To play devil's advocate,
Dadvil's advocate,
Haydens Advocate. I remember when I was in high school, and I was like, it was a performing arts high school, and we would have journals that we would write in every day, and then we'd turn our journals in, and they could be mostly about artistic stuff, but
turtle
also
journals,
and our teacher would write little aside notes in it, and it was kind of a weirdly unhealthy, like way too open thing. But I remember one time I wrote this thing that was like about how I'd written these like short stories or something, not in the journal, but I was like writing about how I'd written them, and about how I was going to write these things, but I didn't want to share them with people. Like I wanted to make sure that they were just sort of mine and not seen. And I remember my art teacher being like, or theater teacher, whatever, being like, what is the point in making art that isn't shared? So I can understand Hayden's frustration being like, I'm not going to make a video, I'm not going to make a piece of art, which would be art.
To be fair, I understand. Yes.
I can understand her being like, well, it kills the drive if you're creating something and no one is going to look at it. But also, like she doesn't also need to understand that you're probably right. So it's like, but I can understand her being like, well, I'm not. I can understand her desire to not do it after finding out that they're going to be private.
And she's
videos.
She was 10, 11, and 12. If this conversation persists in the next 3 years,
that's it. Yeah,
then it changes.
Which is actually in high school.
But as a father, I would also like to see, just do it. Do it first. Do it because you want to do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it because you want the likes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, I totally agree with that. That art. There's something about sharing art that is a part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
It's the final kind of thing. But the way it's now formatted in Instagram and Twitter and YouTube, it's not about that anymore. It's just about the
Great
likes,
point.
It's about the views
Yeah.
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before you
Art
could
has
just
changed.
put something out there and it's like goodbye.
Yeah.
Let this just go and live as its own thing. But
I guess I would just like the art to give her the happiness before the likes did. That's it.
yeah,
Like if she showed me that she really enjoyed making videos or she really enjoyed painting or playing piano and then wanted to give that to the masses, as opposed to I want to do it just to get the thumbs up first and then the art is secondary, then I don't support that as much right now. She's young.
I think you're
but
right.
Protecting myself.
And I would also argue that you wouldn't enjoy a joke that you wrote that you never told, that you never heard a laugh from.
I've never wrote a joke, so I don't know what that's like.
We're all on the same page.
All right, thank you for watching.
Bye, everybody.
I got a lighter topic, unless you got a topic.
I was just gonna say too that if I can think of it, if my mind works, that starts to lead into then the whole thing of social media in general, of like, why is anybody doing it other than
to be heard,
than to get, and it's like
feel connected, even if it's false.
And so many, since everybody has the access to do it now, so many of those people are like you, maybe, who can't handle can't handle the fear and stuff that comes from doing that, but they don't recognize that like you have, and then that leads into what is now a world of so many more people depressed and anxious, and because it's like and
those I think are not. There's a difference. I guess art is a different thing. It's a big word, and so we should.
It's a very big, tiny word.
Yeah, agreed.
Such a small world.
It should be a bigger word. It should be like 7 letters longer. We should probably work on that.
Mm-hmm.
Artistic.
It's called article.
Ooh,
man, dumb.
It's
dumb,
art with
dumb
something
thing
to say.
Yeah.
As if art doesn't have something to say. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, no, that's a great. Yeah, the social media stuff is actually like half of what is getting me back into politics is just sort of seeing, because my family's in Florida and I sign on to Facebook and I see the articles that are shared and I see the way that they affect people, the fake news stuff, the propaganda stuff, the way that they share things that are weirdly anecdotal but also support some kind of weirdly dark fake thing. It's very sad, and the thing that this bug that we've all been infected with of needing to share certain things, it's not good. At the same time, I think that from my perspective, I share things from my relationship online, and I share like happy things online. But I've also been in relationships where there's a referendum on sharing anything, and you share nothing, and you never talk about it. You never breathe a word about it.
And then you feel stifled.
You're stifled, yeah. And there's a different, it's like if you're feeling stifled, that's different. It's like if I'm out and Grace and I are having a good time and we're being silly and we're having fun, I will share that, and I know that that people are going to be like, that's so cute, that's fun, and that feels great, and that's a nice thing to have. But I also know that that if I didn't have that option, I would feel stifled.
You made me just think of something in the moment. I'm going to call it the Robin Thicke conundrum.
Great.
There's blurred lines, right, with social media, and that is.
I hope there's 3 more connections to Robin Thicke.
I could make them eventually. Is social media, from an idealistic standpoint, right? It was created to connect us. It was created to be like, oh, we can now go from our inner circle to the city to the state over to the country. Now the world is connected, right? It was all about connection, but not just for us, but I think everybody, because the way the internet has grown is that we've become especially in the States, but a very like entertainment based society, and social media has become entertainment. Our need to share now has been blurred with our need to entertain, right? So it's like there is a part of you and there's a part of me. Like I want to say everything that's going wrong with my wife, and I want to say that everything, all of my inner emotions, and get them out there, because at the end of the day, it's healthier. And we have now evolved to a point where on Facebook and Twitter and all this stuff, especially Facebook, because that's kind of where it originated, right? Like we're connected with our friends and our close ones and our everybody, and that's where we talk and we share shit, and people do. Like, people put the most personal stuff out there.
Yeah.
But now I think sometimes it's like there's this personal thing, and maybe it doesn't need to be shared on a personal level, but there's this bug in your brain. There's this little like virus that's going, but people need to know. And it becomes, the entertainment gets blurred, Robin Thicke, with the need to share. Right. And maybe there's something there. There's a sickness in that.
It's just activating our, as the Sacha Baron Cohen speech put it, activates our most basic desires.
Yeah.
Of like, people need to know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They need to see me. I got ideas. It's
That's
like
true
just
too.
Noise.
Oh, that's just validation of existence, right?
Yeah, that inkling to share. I don't know. It's, I don't know. I don't know if I have an inkling to share as much as it seems like I do based on the amount that I share. But I don't know. I really don't know. It's gross. That's why I get excited about it, because I'm like, this is just...
I got another thought. That comes down to genuineness, right? So it's like if you're choosing to not put everything out there, and I think I feel this at times, if I don't want to put everything out into the world, but I'm living in a world where we still put some out into the world, but you're holding it back, you feel guilty because you're not giving all of yourself. I don't owe. I don't know everybody all of me. I don't.
Yeah.
At all.
We've established that.
But there is a part of me that when I'm not sharing that journey, like the sickness of guilt, unnecessary guilt, filters in. And there'll be times where I'm like, should I put an Instagram post of what this thing that I'm feeling right now?
But do you want to?
No, but that's different.
Oh, then
but there's a huge difference, right? There is a want, but when you still feel like other people want that can affect you.
Yeah.
It really can. And when the numbers get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger for some people, that pull, that gravity of that totally overtakes the gravity of your personal needs sometimes. And that give and take, that push and pull is insane. Oh my God. I'm a doctor now.
You're a doctor, dude. You're brilliant. And this has been the first episode of our new political podcast. A fun thing that Grace and I will do is Grace is my girlfriend. Lovely person. Very kind. And we'll do things sometimes where we'll take Instagram videos and then obviously maybe one of us will be like, that's just for us, like that's not what, and we'll save it. And then other times it's like that we're both fine with it, but we'll just save it. And so we can still get that feeling out of being like, whatever, we have a record of it, but so much of it never gets posted.
This is what like 95% of my sharing is. I just make the videos on Instagram and then save them into my camera roll, and that's where they live.
Yeah.
Unless
and you can go back and look at them.
This is funny enough, or I feel really this is stupid enough to where I'm like, yeah, I want to put this.
Yeah,
up.
if the stakes are so low.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was one. It was like probably a month ago, where I like went to the restroom and I came out and I couldn't find Grace anywhere, and I was like calling out for where she was, and I was very confused. And I was like, what did she do? I was like, I don't know, maybe she went out, and I like went outside and her car was still there, and I was like, okay. And then I went back into the bedroom and she like popped out of the closet and she was like recording a thing and scared the ever-loving crap out of me. And I got so unbelievably mad, and to the point that I like,
don't share that!
Don't
you dare share that moment!
Yeah, she scared me so bad that like fight or flight syndrome, I snatched her phone out of her hand and was like, nope, this is never going online. And then she was like, sorry. And I was like, hey, it's fine. But I was like, that can never go anywhere. And then the next morning I was like, let's watch it. And then we watched it and I was like, yeah, no, that's never going to be seen by anybody.
Did you shit out of your mouth?
What
happened
again? No, I was just so truly startled. Yeah, it was.
I need to see this.
It was my least.
Share this video.
It was my least favorite thing in the world, which is that pop-up scare thing that horror movies do. I hate it more than anything. I don't like Jack in the Box stuff. And and she did that.
Is low quality.
Yeah. And she didn't know that was my least favorite thing, and it was all fine and dandy. But it was like, okay, we have that as a nice memory.
Yeah.
But it'll never be seen.
Save it for the future.
Yeah.
Save it for the next
Speaking
time.
of Jack in the Box, my dad's friend once ate a Jack in the Box taco and bit into a cockroach.
Oh, really? No.
Just want to get that out there.
Oh, man.
To never maybe go back to Jack in the Box
cockroach
again.
into
the taco.
You know,
I don't know if it was alive or not.
You look at you look at Jack in the Box advertising, look at the posters on their restaurants as you drive by, look at the taco before you bite into it. There's like a 45% chance.
Yep.
Jack in the Box tells you what they are pretty much the
like
whole
right
time.
out of the gate.
Yeah.
Yep. Jack in the Box. Cockroach?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Anyway, you guys want to do some ad reads? What do you want to do?
I don't know where are we at.
Do we have
how
ad
long
reads?
are we into this? We're at 57 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Well, let's do ad reads later then.
That was
Yeah,
engaging.
wow.
Hey, guys, we're going to sign off now, but those ad reads you heard earlier were a pickup.
Yeah, we
that
did those
crazy?
afterward. What's up?
Oh, we just, boom, talk about fourth wall getting obliterated.
And yeah, whatever. We got ads.
We don't care. Hey, this comes out on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, depending on what tier of the Patreon you are on. Patreon.com/Patreon.com.
YouTube.com/Patreon.
Do that too. You get it really early on Mondays at a certain tier, and then Tuesdays, and then it goes public on Wednesdays. But I say that because Happy Thanksgiving for all of you that celebrate that this week.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving, Kevin?
I'm going to, maybe my grandma's.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
If
my
grandma's
grandma's
doing
is my
okay.
favorite movie. Maybe my grandma's.
Well, in the
my favorite
sequel,
John Hughes
If
movie.
Grandma's doing okay. And I'm sorry to make a joke about that. Sorry for bringing it up, Kevin. That's the title of this episode. Is sorry for bringing
Kevin.
that up, Kevin.
Just sorry, Kevin, is the episode.
This is
so
nice
yeah,
podcast.
happy Thanksgiving. I think there's things in other countries maybe that probably not. It's a very specific American holiday.
I'm so glad we didn't do a What Are We Thankful For podcast, but I am thankful for you guys and
Hi.
you, Ryan, and you guys all. Thank you for watching.
What
Tour
else?
dates.
Tour dates.
Please check us out at patreon.com/Valleyfolk has a public post up. You don't need to be a patron to get all the links. Also, our Twitter has a pinned tweet if you'd like to get ticket links. Denver, Spokane, Tacoma.
Thank you.
Salt Lake City, San Francisco with Chris and Paul show, and it'll all be very fun. And
yeah, and we've been doing some really fun stuff on the YouTube channel. If you've missed it, it's a lot of stuff we're super proud of.
It's so bummed about that seance.
We got a great seance video with Whitney and Trisha. We've Dave and Ross came out. We've got these board game videos that we're super proud of too. So check out the Tattoo Stories one, which is really fun.
Mm-hmm. And there will be more new Your Show before the end of the year,
look,
and then we're going to revamp.
We're trying to up our game, and I hope you see it. I hope you appreciate it. And other things that we're doing. Is that it?
Yeah, we're just.
Is that it? Do you have any personal stand-up shows or anything?
No.
Kevin, do you have any personal projects coming out?
Yeah, I have one in April in Washington, D.C. I'm okay
wow.
not plugging that. Yeah. Washington, Spokane.
Washington. Steve's hand hurts, and that's why he's not here today, so give him love. That's it?
Got, Kevin,
Yeah.
you want to plug anything?
Wait, I do
you
want
want
to plug.
social?
No, you plug while I bring this up.
I don't want to plug anything. I want to say on Reddit, I saw this morning, we'll bring it back to Reddit.
Please.
Where did the flavor bubblegum come from?
What are you
Wasn't it
talking about?
NASA? Wasn't it supposed to be a glue?
Was this I
Really?
feel like you set up a joke,
I thought,
No,
and then
no.
you just answered a question.
I thought gum was originally supposed to be an adhesive.
Wow, I didn't know that. But no, the
Oh,
flavor.
I could
the
be completely
flavor.
wrong, Go.
Yeah, well, the flavor of bubblegum. Like, how could you describe the flavor of bubblegum?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it...
Okay, so flavor. Oh, you're saying
I just
because
wanted
bubblegum
to-
is bubblegum
I
because
wanted-
it's gum that makes bubbles.
It's
but
not based in
but
anything.
Who chose the flavor? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, it doesn't mean any. It doesn't. It's not. It doesn't originate in
Bazooka
nature
Joe.
in any
Do you guys
way,
remember
right?
Bazooka
Is that what
Joe?
you're saying? Like, there's no fruit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, also, though,
You
that's
guys
Well,
haven't
how
heard of
could
the
you
bubblegum
describe
tree
it?
of Tanzania? You guys are what? Really?
the bubblegum tree of Tanzania.
I wanted to just end
wow, I
it.
love that Joe and hate it at the same time.
Just like everything we do.
Just like
on Valley
everything.
All right. You guys, I want to do a shout out for Charlotte. She is one of our 100 tiers on Patreon. This one is a very bittersweet one, so stick with me, but I'm really excited to give her what she needs. She wants us to give a shout out to Boo. It's her dog that recently passed away. She got her after her first deployment, and she was there through a divorce.
After her first what?
Deployment. The dog was there for the deployment, a divorce, and
Dang.
the loss of her first child, and was by her side the whole time, had her for 8 years, and was her best friend, always there for her. She was struck with a sudden illness called Addison's disease, which
I think I've heard of that.
I
I've
have
not heard
not.
of that.
But she says keep a close eye on your pets, everybody. Always pay attention to them and love them. And if there's the first sight of anything going wrong, get them checked and rechecked immediately. She will always be missed, and she just wanted to give her an extra special shout out from the podcast.
What's
so,
the pup's name?
Boo. So
Shout
everybody,
out to
let's say shout out to Boo on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Shout out to Boo.
Can I say something
yeah,
on the
please.
note of veterinary stuff real
Yeah.
fast? There, I think, is a misconception about veterinary medicine where people take their animal to the veterinary clinic and then they look at the bill and they're gouging me. Like, this is not good prices. For one, no, they're not good prices because it's expensive to have a pet. But also, the majority of veterinary income comes from people who are like the top tier clients, people that get their dog checked every 6 months. Like, they do all these crazy things to like give them extra care. They buy the insurance. They do all that stuff. And so the veterinarians are not typically trying to get their rocks off by ripping people off, and it would be nice if people had less hesitance to take their dogs to the veterinarian because most of them are just going to give you what the prices are, and they're going to
give you the best of
pup,
care
which is
and
nice.
love and understanding. And
Good
Charlotte,
people.
sorry for your loss, but I'm glad you had
sorry,
an
Charlotte.
amazing companionship with Boo for the longest time. Again, shout out to Boo. I send you love, Charlotte. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
Yeah, thank you for your support, and we'll support you through this. And yeah.
That's nice, Joe. It's hard to come out of that. That's a very somber,
Yeah.
very sweet. Yeah, you put it perfectly. Bittersweet.
Yeah.
If you send us a picture of Boo, we would love to retweet it and let everybody know how awesome Boo was.
This
So,
episode was the fastest seeming episode we've done. in
It
a while.
was.
So thank you guys. This is really nice. Appreciate it. Love y'all. Bye. Love you.
Bye.